Okay, I can talk to you now because I'm in the car. Couldn't hear you out there. So, what I want to say, very quick thing is, just seen EJ there in his Indy car. First ever test in an Indy car on an oval. Now, racing in America, you've got to be pretty damn good at ovals. You've got no choice. So this is a big day for him. He has to throw everything at it, and he is. And what we're going to do now is go back to the garage, tell him how to adjust his driving, and this is the thing, this is why I want to speak to you, because we've got to go now and tell him, you know, you're doing 200 mile an hour into that corner or there or thereabouts. Now we want you to turn just 1 foot later, 1 foot at that speed, all right? And actually on top of that, can you just try turning the wheel harder so you throw the car in just that little bit more? Again, at nearly 200 mile an hour. Now, to a race driver, this is fairly normal, okay? This is normal practice. But there's a lesson to be learnt here in the way race drivers and people with big goals, how they work. Now, EJ, this year, stepping up to IndyCar, he has got to step up in more ways than one. He's going to have to do things that are outside his comfort zone. So when we tell him things like this, he's just got to do it. And he will. He'll go out there, he'll try it, and he'll see if it works. Now, on an oval, which you've just seen on that video then, there's a consequence to if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it's gonna hurt. Oh boy, hitting that wall at the high hundreds of miles an hour, and there's only a tiny little bit of car between you and that wall, yeah, it can be devastating. It happens every year to someone, or quite a few people actually, in the States. So there is a massive consequence to if he does do what we say and it doesn't slightly go right. He doesn't turn in as hard as he should or too hard and unsettles the car at that speed. You can imagine what will happen. I'm telling you this because the lesson at the end of all of this is he's doing it, and he will do it. He will make that adjustment to his driving because he's got such a big goal in his head. Massive. I know what I've got to do, he's going to be saying, this year. I know the expectations, the level I've got to perform at, and the things I've got to do to push me outside my comfort zone. I've just got to do them. That's where the focus is. The focus is bigger on what needs to be done. The absolute need, certainty of what's got to be done. It outweighs what might happen if it goes wrong. The consequence. The what if. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking that most people in life, when they're struggling with their business, with their relationships, with just doing stuff in life, getting what they want out of life, when they're struggling in that area, they focus on the opposite way. They don't focus on why I must do this and how much it means to me, and it's just no question, I've just got to act. Instead, they go to the what if filter first. What if it goes wrong? What if I'm rejected? What will people think if it does go wrong, or it doesn't go to plan, or I get turned down? How will I feel? Well, how will it make me look? All these stupid what ifs and consequences to the worst case scenario. So what do? They get stuck. They don't act. They don't take the action they should. They don't adjust their race line through life. So say somebody needs to cold call to sell their service, their sponsorship if you're a driver, their product. They're more thinking of, oh, what if I get turned down? What if I don't word it right? How do I sound on the phone? Do I sound correct? It's got to be perfect, otherwise I can't do it. So what happens? They end up not doing it. They end up not calling. They talk themselves out of it because they made it so confusing when all they've got to do is call that person on the other end of the line, say, are you interested? Yes or no? Get the feedback, adjust their sales pitch for the next person, and done. And on they go, and they're going towards their goal. So if you're having that problem, you're putting stuff off that you know you should do, but you're not doing it because you're talking yourself out of it, because what might happen if it goes wrong or it doesn't come off. Even like talking to that person at the bar that you're trying to chat up, ask out for a drink, whatever it is. If you're talking yourself out of the actions you know you should be doing, then you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on what if it doesn't work out, when really you should say to yourself, and always keep in the forefront of your mind, why am I doing this? What's my big goal in this? What will happen if I don't do this? And I just keep putting things off till Monday, till tomorrow, not going down the gym because I'm worried about how I'll look or whatever it is. you're never going to do it. It's always going to be that silent dream in your head and telling people again, I better move, telling people again what you haven't achieved, what you were supposed to achieve this year. So what I'm trying to say is make sure that the reason you want to do something, the reason you're going for this goal, make sure you know why. And you're passionate about it. And it really is what you want in life, in your career, or in your relationships, whatever it is. Make sure that goal is so big and you just can't help but think about it. The first thing you get up I'm getting lost here, but the first thing you think about in the morning is that. I must do it, I must do it. And then you follow it up with action. You keep your mind focused on the goal and why it's important to you, and that you've got no choice but to act. It's your responsibility to do it. No one else can do it but you. That's where to come from, not straight away thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't think I can do it, or what happens if it goes wrong, if they turn me down. What ifs are not going to get you anywhere. They can help you plan and risk assess, but you not want to risk assess when you're trying to go for something that's big. You're going to be outside that comfort zone. I know you know all this, by the way, but you've got to live this and condition it with the small things, maybe to start with. Just do it the small things. What are the little things that you're putting off? And just hang on, how am I processing that? Ask yourself, what am I saying to myself when I am putting it off? What are the little things that I'm saying, oh, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow? Stop. Why? How did you come up with that conclusion? When really, you know, when you get tomorrow, you're going to do the same again. You're going to put it off again, because it's still you in 24 hours. It's still you how you are now on Monday. So don't put it off and just think you're going to be this super motivated person that gets everything done over in them few days or tomorrow, whenever it is, just in a few hours. Do it now, because you're the same person as you will be next year. You've just got to process it in the right way, which is big goal, reason why I must absolutely do this, how much it means to me. What if I don't do it? That's going to be painful. I've got to tell people again that I've failed. Live in that sort of arena. Put some pressure on yourself and just get it done. And the more you do that, the more you condition this and do it with the small things to start with, the more it becomes natural. And your brain will start to say to itself, the process will go, what have I got to do? I'll do it. Not what have I got to do? What if it goes wrong? Maybe I should sit on the YouTube for a few hours and research the best way to do it. See how other people do it. Read an autobiography, see how they did it. Screw that. Just get on with it.